Welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Happy to be here with you inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Great Lakes Honda City on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York is your one-stop shop to find everything you need. I've trusted them for over a decade, and you could go for buying, leasing, and they have new and used vehicles. You could check it all out on GreatLakesHondaCity.com. I am picture-in-picture for this Bearcat Breakroom with Will and Ronin, and they both come to you from the men's tennis team, student athletes here in the 2025 season, and very happy to be here inside of our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with Binghamton University that features the Bearcats every single week. So we have Will Morais Binnie here with us, and we have Ronin Lotlikar here with us, and very happy to have them both back on the show. I've already featured Will and Ronin, so gentlemen, before anything else, welcome back to the broadcast.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan. Glad to be here.
Happy to have you back here, and means a lot for you both to be back here. We have some congratulations in order as you have both advanced to San Diego in early November. And so I want to first and foremost start off the conversation by saying that the ITA national event in San Diego, California will feature you both. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. It was the goal of the season.
So bring me into this season, because I've had the opportunity throughout the season to obviously track men's and women's tennis for Binghamton University, and have spoken with your head coach and also spoken with you over these last couple of years. This season to you means what? If we're describing this season and there was a way to fill in the blank, Will, I'll start with you on how you would describe the season.
So for me, I think it's a little bit different. I'm actually not going to be here in the spring, unfortunately. So I'm not here for our main season. I'm just here kind of like for the fall, the individual stuff.
Right.
So for me this season, it's kind of like a farewell season. I feel like that's the best way to put it.
Okay.
And kind of just trying to make the most of the time that I have left, trying to, improve as much as I can while I'm at it, and see, how many matches I can win. So, I feel like farewell season is kind of like the overarching theme here.
And Will, I want to keep with you with that for a second, because like you said, you've been here for this portion, but not the spring. What's going on in that world? Are you just graduating and finished up eligibility, or what's kind of going on with you that we're not going to see you for the rest of the run?
So I had a job over the summer, and it is in what I want to do. So I'm going to return there. They asked if I could go at the beginning of the year, and then they figured out all like the compliance stuff behind it. So I'm going to actually end up officially starting to work in January, February. So then I just kind of had to schedule classes to graduate early. Still had the eligibility, but kind of had to decide between the two things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so very, very bittersweet, but how to make a choice.
So you will graduate. So congratulations on that. We will miss
Not
you.
done yet.
What'd you say?
Not graduated yet. Still
All right.
have to study a little bit.
Well, I'm saying you will have it before you take your job. Is what
Yeah.
we're going toward. You're not going to leave before it's done.
Definitely
And
not.
the other side of that is you said you're going to be working in what you want to do. So what are you going to be doing?
I'm doing investment banking.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that on Wall Street, which is pretty cool. It was the goal.
Yeah.
So can't pass on that opportunity.
No, you can't pass on Wall Street. Make sure you clean it up a little bit for us. So, and Ronin, to go to you in this first portion of the season, will we have you in the spring? I don't have to lose you both, do I?
Yeah, I'll be there in the spring. I won't betray the team like Will did, but
Okay.
I'll be there in the spring.
I will say this to you. Your coach he still did not get me a back-to-back champions shirt as you and I, as the three of us have spoken about, but I do have a Binghamton tennis shirt now. I do have something.
That's great. That's great. We need to hook you up. Honestly, we don't have a back-to-back shirt, so we do have like a NEC champions shirt.
Okay.
I'll ask Coach if we have some of those still in a box. send you one of those.
Yeah, because what I need from before Will abandons the team, Ronan, we need to make sure that I get an NEC shirt.
I got you. I got you. I'll be persistent on that one until December, see if I can get it
You
done.
got two things you have to do before you graduate. You have two things that before you leave the team. You have to get your degree, and you have to get me
Yeah.
an NEC shirt.
Yeah, I honestly I hope that getting the shirt is easier than graduating, but it depends on our coach's inventory management there.
That's very true.
Sometimes it's tough to get that extra year, you know.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So, Ronan, bring me into your thoughts on this season, knowing that there is more to be had after this, but obviously just what you've taken away. And to give some background to people that don't know, to preface this, the Carousel Classic Invitational that's hosted by Binghamton University. And then we have the Nate Rentals Binghamton Championships, the Army Shootout, and some other things that have happened here in October, the ITA New England Regional and the NateRentals.com Hidden Duels before we have the ITA Conference Masters Championship, which you will both be in San Diego. So just what your takeaways have been up to this point for Ronan.
Yeah, I mean, I think the season's been pretty good so far. I think going to California was the main objective for our team and me and Will especially, since we were in the A flight in both singles and doubles. And I think so this is our second time having this tournament. I think last year none of us made it past, none of us made it close. All of us lost before the quarters in both singles and doubles. So it was like kind of a missed opportunity. And this year, I think the field was, in our opinion, a bit easier,
Okay.
which made it an even more achievable goal, I would say. And yeah, I'm glad we achieved it. And then I think we've done pretty well so far in the rest of the matches, especially in doubles. Me and Will have gone 8-1, which is leaves us pretty confident to do. I feel like we can do pretty well in San Diego. We also play better doubles outdoors, and San Diego's going to be outdoors, which is favorable to us. And obviously, I'm hoping that we can really qualify for the nationals and after that.
You talked about singles and doubles, and the note that I had for you both is that you advanced in doubles. Did you advance in both?
No, so no, I lost in the semis. We lost in the quarters.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're advancing as a doubles team.
only as the
Yeah.
doubles.
Singles is a very sensitive topic still.
Okay. I was going to say, because I know that, that you're working in both worlds. So what did
Yeah.
you learn in the ITAs from the singles since you did not advance in that respect? What were your positive takeaways? I know you said it's a touchy subject, but what did you learn?
Want to get go ahead.
No, I mean, I think for me it was a really tough loss. Probably one of the probably the toughest loss of my career so far. I don't know if you understand tennis scoring, but I was up 5-1 for love in the third set on serve, and I lost from there. So that was a pretty tough loss. Obviously, like that loss at the day before the doubles final as well. I knew I had to recover pretty quickly, so I don't want to linger on that loss too much. And obviously, I have, when you're playing doubles, you're playing with a teammate as well, so you can't can't relax and let your teammate down. So, I didn't think about that loss too much. Try to focus on doubles more. Yeah.
Yeah, for me at least, it was like kind of a testament to, well, I mean, so for a lot of the guys over the summer, you're not necessarily competing a lot, right? So a lot of people are arriving to that tournament at a different kind of phase in terms of like how many matches they've played, right? It's not the same in the spring season where you play 20 matches in a row and you're like ready for the conference tournament. This is kind of like you're starting to fall off almost with this tournament, right? So a lot of the guys were working over the summer. I was working in the city. Ronan was working back home. So it was kind of like the big takeaway was, sometimes you have a very important situation that you are not extremely prepared for, and you just need to deal with it the best way possible. And being in that situation, it's not a great feeling, but you learn how to deal with it. And then also when it doesn't go well, but you still have something going, which for us it was doubles, kind of like, locking in on that. And it's really about positivity and just being resilient and taking a bunch of jabs, I guess, um, while being disappointed, you know. But it turned out good, it turned out good. Goal was San Diego, we're there. So
Right. And you're there together, which is a good thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's honestly, I would prefer, if I'm going alone only for singles,
Yeah.
I'd take this over that.
And when we look at it, to give some context to it as we discuss what this is, the ITA Conference Masters Championship in San Diego, looking at it, and you can go to their website. So you can go to wearecollegetennis.com, and then that has information on the ITA. But the ITA Conference Masters Championships, November 6th to the 9th of this year at the Barnes Tennis Center in San Diego, California. There's 4 NCAA singles qualifiers, 3 NCAA doubles qualifiers. So just bring me into this, what's going to be asked of you in the doubles world, and how you continue to move on in the ITA Masters to let people know kind of that's, this is what it is going into it, but what can it become for you? And then how do you move forward when we talk about NCAA qualifiers?
Yeah, so the main goal in the fall season is the NCAA individual singles and doubles tournament in the fall, towards the end of November.
Yeah.
So that's what I think is kind of the main objective of every single team that plays in D1. And so this tournament is a way to qualify for that. Most of the people that qualify for the tournament get through directly because you have like a top 25, top 30 ranking.
Okay.
So this tournament is for those that maybe have a lower ranking and it's harder for them to qualify. So
Yeah, I mean, what's going to be kind of required of us, I think, is just like we're going to have to play against some better teams. We're going to have to. So our approach it's funny because when you play in whatever conference you are, you're really used to the competition there, right? And then you go to these tournaments and you play against different teams. So I think it's kind of banking on the confidence that we've played some good matches against some good teams. So my sophomore year, we went close with one of the best doubles teams in the country. Last year, we played one of the best doubles teams in the country again. Wasn't super close, but I also didn't feel like if we had played great that we wouldn't have a shot at it. So I think doubles is just, anything can really happen there. And so we're kind of banking on going all out and seeing how it goes. But I do think that we stand a chance. Like we have a good record. We've played some good matches. So really just keep going with that and believing that we fit there and that we can win there.
And as far as how many schools are represented out in San Diego?
Is it a draw 32?
yeah, I think it's a draw of 30. I think it's one team from each conference. That's what it's like. I don't know how many it is per school, but
Yeah. So a team representing each conference.
Yeah, so with 32 conferences, that makes sense. So to know that you're going to be in a very small number in the world, right? I mean, there's over 300 Division I institutions, and we're talking 32. So we're essentially, and I know there's over 360 Division I, but just for argument's sake, it's a tenth of the country. It's actually less than a tenth of the country. What does that mean to you both?
I think it feels good. Obviously it feels good. You play the sport for, I mean, I played the sport for 18 years, so you can kind of see, okay, when I was 15, I played that one tournament that was really cool. And, when I was 18, so like this is one of those where you qualify and you kind of like have something on paper to show for the years and the effort that you put into the sport.
Yeah.
So I feel like it kind of represents the effort I've put into it. And, I can be like, oh, I played the Masters. Like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, when you hear Masters with anything, I mean, that usually holds some weight. Ronin, what about for you, what this means to you to be in less than 1/10 of the country when you head out to San Diego?
yeah, I mean, pretty much the same thing as Will said. Like, just playing a really fun tournament that you can talk about in future years. And it's also a free trip to the West, to California. I've never been to California, so I'm looking forward to that.
Well, I could tell you that I had never been to California, and I had to go out there at the end of last season, 2024 season for Syracuse football, because they played at Snapdragon Stadium against Washington State in the DirecTV Holiday Bowl. So I had an excuse to go out to San Diego in December, and y'all are going out in November. So good time of
Yeah,
year to go out to San Diego for sure.
perfect.
And representation here of, the state of New York for all three of us.
Hmm.
Ronan, I'll start with you on this. To represent your home country, when you're doing things here in America and you're having your successes, you also have the unique opportunity to wear as a badge of honor the entire country of India. In the world of Will, you get to wear the badge of honor for Portugal. So, Ronan, I'll start with you. To be an international player at Binghamton and to not just go to San Diego to represent Binghamton, you're representing your family, you're representing a country. What does that mean to you to represent India?
Um, I mean, it means a lot, obviously. But I don't really look at it that way. I feel like we're representing the university more.
Yeah.
Um, Not really the country, but obviously it's nice to see where I've come from. Maybe 5, 6 years back, I would have never expected myself to be playing college tennis and playing the ITA Masters in California. So, and obviously I spoke to my family about this. They're really happy. So I think it's a great opportunity.
For you, Will, when it comes to
Yeah,
Portugal?
I mean, when it comes, so I kind of like that's one of those things that I think about when, I'm like at night in bed, got nothing to do. When I'm playing, I'm obviously just, focused. All right, what do I have to do? Point by point, kind of more of that mindset, right? I really, for example, I had my last ever home event, and it didn't really sink into me that that was my last home match until like 2 hours after the match because, you're just like in the moment and just competing. So,
Yeah.
I think overall, though, it really just shows that you can grow up, you can grow up in the north of Portugal, dedicate yourself to a sport, and it can take you places, right? And I think that everything we accomplish here just proves that testament, right? And it doesn't need to be anything crazy. Like you can go, you're just a student, you're not even a student athlete, you're from whatever country, you come to the US, you get a good degree, maybe you stay, maybe you go back home, but you're constantly succeeding and achieving goals, right? It just shows the opportunities that are available to those that try, I think, right? And
Yeah.
and that's kind of how I think about it, and it's something that I want to show the kids back home that, I'm still kind of in touch with, and I'm pushing for them to come to the U.S. and continue with tennis, even if they're a bit unsure about their professional careers, right? So I'd say that.
Well, what I love about sports like soccer and tennis is that it seems that there are so many international players that find their way to the States and make up this really cool melting pot when it comes to having the team that you have. We see it at Binghamton, I've seen it in other places. And now that I have you both thinking about where you come from, thinking about each other, you're going to be in doubles together. This is going to be fun for me. Will, tell me something good about Ronan.
Ron? Well, I mean, I've basically lived with this guy for 3 years, right? So, um, honestly, when I think of Ronan, I don't really think too much tennis related. Obviously, really good tennis player, just crazy skilled. A lot of talent. If he wasn't as talented, I don't know, maybe he'd be working at McDonald's or something. But honestly, like when I think of Ronan. I think of a guy that's I think of I don't know, someone that's just like great to hang out with, someone that is just kind of part of my inner circle. And I think he's a very how would I describe Ronan? Ronan is like that person you can just count on, you know? you're like, Ronan, let's do this. He has you. So I'd say that very, very, very trustworthy individual right here.
Ronan, I asked him to say something nice about
Yeah.
you, and he said if you weren't playing tennis, you'd be working at McDonald's.
No, 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 no,
No, no,
no, no, no.
no.
If he wasn't so skilled,
Oh, so
this guy,
skilled.
this guy
Okay.
was born. He was born with it. He was
Okay.
born with
Okay.
it.
If he wasn't so skilled. So, so Ronan, I now ask you, because the
Yeah.
bar's been set so low, I ask you to tell me something good about Will.
No, he's a great guy. I think there's a lot that you can take from him. Um, he's got a lot of energy, a lot of discipline, a lot of eagerness to learn about a lot of things. And that's one thing, I've spent 4 years with him, and that's one thing I'll take away for sure. Also, just a great guy to hang out with. He's helped me a lot to, I'd say, acclimatize to this environment. When I came to the US for the first time, it was a little bit of culture shock, but Will helped me out a little bit. Yeah, so yeah, and obviously he's gonna stay a friend for life. Hopefully we can see him in the city once he leaves. I know for a fact now that I've got a place to stay at in the city, like whenever I come there. So that's pretty nice.
Me too,
Um,
Ronan. Me too.
Everyone, it's the whole team. And the whole team is glad that I'm leaving. They just want a spot in the city.
That's right. So I do before I let you guys go, there's a couple more pieces here. This is a question I've never asked before in 21 years of broadcasting. But because you're both going to be playing doubles in the ITA Masters in San Diego, California, Ronan, I want you to tell me why, if I had a choice,
yeah.
why I should pick you to be my doubles partner.
Um,
Over
my
Will.
volleys are pretty good. My volleys are pretty good.
Okay. Your volleys are pretty good. That's all you want to say on why I should pick you? Nothing
That's
else?
all, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, doubles is pretty much volley seven return. You got one third of that.
Okay.
You
All
got to
right.
serve in return, but he has the volleys.
Will, why should I pick you to be my doubles partner over any of your teammates?
Well, I could potentially give you some great advice related to investment banking if you're ever curious about that. So, that I feel like if we go and I don't know, grab some food after or before, we can get some takeaways there, great chat about your podcast and all that. So vibes outside the court,
Okay.
immaculate. On the court, it's very, sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm a little bit out of it. So you catch me on a good day, maybe I can win you some points.
Okay. All right. Before
Yeah,
we get into what?
most of the time it's me doing the heavy lifting. So
Yeah, Ronan does the heavy lifting here.
Okay. All right. So before we get to rapid fire, Nick Zazula, we've mentioned that it took him almost 2 years to get me a shirt. So I want to know a little bit more about Nick. And Nick, I love and appreciate you. He knows that very much. So I could joke with him about this. I've had a lot of respect for Nick Zazula over the entire time I've known him. So, Will, I will start with you. Tell me something good about Coach Zazula.
Oof, that's a tough one. Um, no, I will say, coach is like he's like something you learn to love, right? At the beginning, you come in here and he's like super disciplined, very on top of things. Like I'm surprised the shirt took 2 years to get there and not like half a day. He's
Okay.
extremely on top of everything. Which involves he'll be, not micromanaging, but he'll be managing you a lot, and then you grow to really appreciate that. There's something to say about Coach Z. He cares beyond probably any coach I've ever had. And I mean, it's impressive to see, like this guy has spreadsheets about everything. He has notes about everything. And I then took those values and kind of like what he does, how he operates
Yeah.
into my professional career or aspiring one. So I'd say that.
Okay. Very kind words. Ronan, tell me something good about your head coach, Nick Zazula.
yeah, I think he tends to operate with a very good heart. Um, that he's very genuine and caring with what he does. I've seen a lot of coaches in college tennis. They're not really they kind of do it for their own personal gain, but I think what Coach C does is he tries to help the person. He tries to improve them over the 4 years that they're going to spend here at Binghamton, and that's one thing I deeply respect.
Well, I can respect that very much. So you said very kind things and not surprising words when it comes to Coach Zazula. So we're going to do rapid fire. We're going to go round robin. So each of us will get to ask and be asked. So I will start things off by asking Will. Will will ask Ronin. Ronin will ask me, and then we'll go back. So, Will, my question to you, who do you think is going to pick up your slack when you're not on the team in the spring?
Pick up my slack?
Like, who's gonna make up for you not being there?
Oh, that's gonna be tough. Felipe Costa, our Brazilian teammate. He's
Okay.
gonna carry, because a lot about me is like not on court, right? It's off court. I don't carry that much on court. So Lippy got the off court stuff.
Okay.
All right, Ronan. If our team was a meal, what meal would it be?
I've asked something like that, but never to that, not to the whole team. But yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's butter chicken because it can get it's fun and nice to have, but it's also very messy.
Butter chicken because it's fun and
Yeah.
nice to have, but it's also messy.
And it's also my favorite meal. So
So to describe the team, and it's your favorite meal.
Instead of curry.
All right,
That's
Ronan, what's your question to me?
um yeah let's say you're in the Wimbledon final in doubles. Who you picking, me or Will?
Man, that's not fair. I would say,
No, none of us are going to be disappointed.
No, you can be honest.
okay.
If you want off court vibes, I got you. If you want to win, probably choose Ronan.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I'm going to pick Ronan because he doesn't abandon his team.
Yeah, if they give me a job offer midway through the match, I'm gone.
I'm just saying. So I'll pick Ronan because he'll still be there in the spring. So I'll pick Ronan. But if you were both going to be there in the spring, it would be very difficult. But Will, I got all love for you too. So
100%.
my question back to you, Ronan. Okay, so whenever I say Ronan, I think of the Marvel villain that worked with Thanos, whose name I think was an A, not an I. But I think of Ronan, and I think of his power and the fact that he had the Power Stone. So if you were to become a villain of any movie, it doesn't have to be Marvel, but if you were going to snap your fingers and become a villain, what villain would you want to be in a movie and why?
Come on, what villain would you be?
You got to know a villain. Could be any type of movie. Could be a mafia movie. Could be anything.
It could be like an Indian movie. You don't know any villains? This guy, he doesn't know any
I don't
villains.
watch movies.
You don't watch? Do you watch TV shows?
No,
Do you have an ex-girlfriend?
no.
So let me ask you this. I'll change it, Ronan. If you could give yourself a superpower, what superpower would you give yourself, and why?
Probably to fly.
Okay. And
Yeah.
why would you choose flight?
Why would I choose? Just to get away. Like if I need to like go somewhere or escape from something.
Yeah.
You know. Like if the practice session is getting too tough for me, then
You can fly away.
Fly away.
Fly away back home.
I love it. Hey, you could fly to New York City. You got a place to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Ronan, you get to ask Will now.
If you had to do one thing before you passed away, before you died, like if you
One thing.
one thing,
So you got 24 hours to live.
24 hours. to live.
24 hours to live?
Yeah,
What are you gonna do?
I'm just not ready for that one. All right. Yeah, he gave you the easy question, didn't he? All right. So 24 hours left to live. What am I doing? Well, obviously, I have to see my parents, right? My family, but I also need to go somewhere. So, with the money I don't have, I'd go see my parents' family, and we'd all go on a trip to the Maldives. I'd probably die in the Maldives. It
Okay.
like beautiful place, islands like in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Um, yeah, just like the bluest water you'll ever see. I've never been there, but that's what the Instagram reels, that's what it looks like there. So,
Fair enough. What's your last question for me, Will?
all right. So, say there is one rule that you could change in one sport. What would that be? Because I know you cover a bunch of sports.
That's such a good question to give me that power. So if I could change one rule in one sport,
Hmm.
hmm, man, I got to think about
Got
this now. Okay, I would take what they're doing in college football currently, and they are assessing fines to players that fake injuries in order to get an extra timeout. So I would go to professional soccer and I would suspend players for faking injuries.
I
I
love that.
I would suspend them one. Okay, so the first time it would be a 1 game suspension. The second time it would be a 3 game suspension. The third time it's the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Because I am so sick and tired of people falling when there's no one that. There was one guy, I watched this game years ago. This guy had an injury. He was on the ground. They came out with a stretcher. They put him on the stretcher, took him off the field, and a couple minutes later, he ran full speed back onto the field. So,
Man, you
so I'm going to punish fake injuries in professional soccer.
that's you haven't seen anything. Go third division in Portugal. See what they're doing there. It's crazy. They act like they got shot and they're running full speed like 2 seconds after.
By the
It's
way,
it and I agree. It's part of the game. It's
right.
it's just become part of the game.
I also, whatever's in that water bottle that they spray, like when somebody has a broken leg and they spray you in soccer with a water bottle and you can run full speed, like that thing should be given to the entire world to cure all injuries and illnesses because that thing seems to work pretty easy.
You know what that is? That's like it's like a spray ice.
I was going to say, is it like a numbing agent?
No, it's like n most of the time yeah, it has a bit of a numbing agent, but it's just like really cold.
Okay.
So,
I was going to say,
yeah.
because it seems to work. So, with that being said, for the ITAs, which I will be paying attention to you both when you're out there in early November. So, to this doubles team getting to do some awesome things out in San Diego, California, and for hopefully a three-peat for Binghamton men's tennis in the NEC coming up. I want to thank Will. I want to thank Ronin. Of course, I want to thank your teammates, Coach Zazula, and the entire staff at Binghamton University. This has been the Bearcat Breakroom with Will, Morais, Binnie, as well as Ronin Lotlikar here with us to celebrate this 2025-26 season, and you both representing Binghamton University in less than a tenth of the country over in San Diego in early November for the ITA Masters. Congratulations once again. God bless you both and safe travels, and thank you for being a part of the show today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Dan.
having us.
Of course, from the
Thank
Great
you.
Lakes Honda City Studios, this is Wake Up Call. Those are the Bearcats, and you'll see them on the West Coast very soon.